everyone, I'm Ursula. I'm the artist behind this channel. You usually hear from Bones, who is the writer of our comic duo, but I will be taking over for a art challenge. I'm doing the 100 Days of Making Comics challenge. The challenge was started, I believe, by Kevin Cross. I've seen several other artists do it. The thing is, I didn't want to do this challenge to make myself do comics every day. I already do comics every day just because of how my deadlines work. Every month I put out an issue of my comic The Magpie to our Patreon. I'm always working on other comic projects because Bones and I put out a Kickstarter last year. Anyways, so I didn't want to focus on my comic work ethic because I think I've already got a good flow for that. The main reason I wanted to do this challenge was to get myself to one, start working on my confidence with speaking. I'm a very shy, quiet person. I'm the queen of whisper talking and mumbling. Bones, I drive Bones crazy with mumbling into my chest when I'm talking to him and not enunciating. So I'm hoping to improve that or build on my confidence. I've also kind of been toying with the idea of doing a podcast, so I feel this is a good if I can do 100 days of recording videos, then I've earned doing a podcast about comics. Right, so first I wanted to work on my speaking. I also wanted to work on improving my shyness. I have a weird thing where I'm okay at interacting with people in person, but I find oh my god, I'm so weird. So I find I'm very shy online. So I'm always scared to post things. I'm always afraid to say things, say my opinions. So I find I can post art just fine because I'm very confident in my artwork, but I'm not very confident in what I have to say outside of my artwork. So I want to try and improve that. The third thing I want to work on with this challenge is to keep comics at the front of my mind. So I work a day job, I'm busy with everyday life, and I do work on comics every single day, but you kind of forget about it sometimes because it's become kind of a trivial everyday thing. So I want to start really focusing on the craft, talk about it, share my knowledge, learn new things from other people, and really get excited about making comics every single day. So I hope this challenge will help with that. So in this video, I'm working on The Magpie, which is a horror LGBT comic. So here I'm working on inking and penciling. I feel I should have started with a video of thumbnailing or penciling, but I kind of just jumped into the middle of my work because it's the middle of the month right now. So I'm already midway through the issue. Actually, I'm kind of behind. This is a part of last month's issue that didn't go out because of the holidays getting in the way. To talk a little bit about my process, I usually do really gestural thumbnail sketches that just kind of lay out the page layout, I guess. So they're really they're stick figures basically, and with arrows maybe. I don't think anyone can read them but me. And then with my pencils, again, they're very gestural. They're usually very sparse. They're just to kind of get the movement of the characters. Sometimes I'll put down construction lines, but that's usually something that I do once I'm in the inking stage, if that makes any sense. It might get more clear the more I post of this work, but basically the pencils is a more fleshed out thumbnail, and they're very fluid. I don't make my pencils very refined or super detailed. I like to leave that to the inking stage. I find that keeps my inking from getting stiff, and I'll usually I kind of do 2 stages of pencils. I'll do one where it's the very fluid gestural stuff, and then as I work on the inks, I'll start doing construction stuff underneath so that, the anatomy's not strange, or the face isn't misshapen, etc. Or for backgrounds, I'll start putting in perspective once I start the inking stage, once I have all the general stuff down. I kind of do 2 stages of inking, and one's a hybrid between penciling and inking, and that's totally it. I do several pencil stages underneath that get more and more detailed as I go, and then eventually they kind of turn into inks at some point. So right now I'm on the kind of in-between stage of penciling and inking. where I'm still working on the construction lines underneath, and you'll see like I'll put down a sketch layer and then I'll turn it like a blue or a red or something, and then I'll ink over top, and then if I don't like that, I will turn it into a sketch layer again, and then I'll go over top, and then I'll start, putting down textures on top once I like kind of like the finished outline of things. God, I hope that makes sense. I know my comic process is really weird, although a lot of people have different processes. Some people, they'll just do one sketch and they'll do it super detailed and then they'll ink over top. Some people will do like a mishmash where they'll draw on all these different pieces of paper and then like stick it together and then ink over top. Mine is very like dynamic of a process, and I think that's just because I work in digital. Although if I worked in traditional, I'd probably be doing like a million different pencil sketches and then light boxing on top. And okay, I'd probably have the same process I do now, but I'd waste a lot of material. Although it's not really a waste because you do need it to get the final product, right? Anyway, so as this challenge goes on, I'll probably go into more detail about my work, especially as I go step by step through, say, like a new batch of pages. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'll be happy to answer it. Bones moderates the comments, so he'll probably be talking to you, but I'm sure he'll pass them along to me. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye!